Did Hitler really die at the end of World War II? On April 30th, 1945, Adolf Hitler committed suicide in his underground bunker. His body was later discovered and identified by Soviets before being rushed back to Russia. Or was it? Is it really possible that the Soviets have been lying all this time and that history has been purposely rewritten? No one thought so until the release of the FBI documents. It seems that it is possible that the most hated man in history escaped war-torn Germany and lived out a peaceful life in the beautiful foothills of the Andes Mountains. FBI disclaimer. The FOIA library contains many files of public interest and historical value. In compliance with the National Archives and Records Administration requirements, some of these records are no longer in the physical possession of the FBI. Some material contained in this site may contain actions, words, or images of a graphic nature that may be offensive and/or emotionally disturbing. This material may not be suitable for all ages. 6 top Argentina officials aided in hiding Adolf Hitler upon his landing by submarine in Argentina. Hitler was reported to be hiding out in the foothills of the southern Andes. A lot of this information has been redacted. The document also states that Hitler wished to find some high-ranking government officials that would be able to guarantee his immunity. Hitler and his party landed from 2 submarines in Argentina approximately 2½ weeks after the fall of Berlin. The first sub came close to shore about 11 p.m. After it had been signaled that it was safe to land, a doctor and several men disembarked. Approximately 2 hours later, the second sub came ashore, and Hitler, 2 women, another doctor, and several more men, approximately totaling 50 people, were aboard. By a prearranged plan with 6 top Argentina officials, several horses were waiting for the group, and by daylight all supplies were loaded on the horses, and after an all-day trip inland towards the foothills of the southern Andes was started. At dusk the party arrived at the ranch. Blank told Blank that there are several tiny villages in this area where a number of Hitler's party would eventually stay with German families. He named the towns as I'll bet $1 to a donut that Hitler is located right in New York City. There's no other city in this world where he could so easily be absorbed. No doubt you have considered this potentially, but I mention it for what it is worth anyway. Okay, so what we have here now is a series of documents from different government officials to J. Edgar Hoover, and then basically J. Edgar Hoover's responses. There's really nothing specific being mentioned, so there's no reason for me to necessarily have to read these to you guys, but I still felt the need to present them here in the video to showcase them to you. There's in total almost 40-something different documents if you want to go to the URL in the very first picture on the FBI's Freedom of Information website, where you can look at these documents yourself. And as I always tell you guys, don't believe anything you can't prove with your own research. And you guys should always be doing your own research to make sure that everything that you talk about and are discussing is accurate. I recently read the enclosed article, which may or may not have been called to your attention. I find it both interesting and applicable and would appreciate a reply. J. Edgar Hoover. On and on the documents go. This particular document I could not even thoroughly read, so maybe some of you can make more of them than what I was able to. This will acknowledge receipt of your letter dated November-January 1945. Sincerely yours, J. Edgar Hoover. Dear friend, I have some news in my possession which I believe to be true and would interest you very much. I cannot divulge the men's names at present who gave me the news, but I will give you the news I have, and if you think it is worthwhile, then you can have one of your men contact me for further information. Hitler is in Argentina. He is living in the Giro underground establishment beneath Vesta Hohensadera. With Hitler are two body doubles. Nazi envoys says Hitler is still alive. And this is from a newspaper article. Feel free to check this out before we switch to the next photo here. And as always, hit pause and go back and read these documents if you need to, guys. Why don't you go down to the island and find Hitler blank? I have no idea who wrote this note, but I'm guessing it's to J. Edgar Hoover. It's dated 1945. Nazi leaders make pleas to live. There's actually quite a few interesting news articles from the FBI FOIA news archives in relation to Hitler and other top Nazi leaders still being alive and able to escape World War II. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking this is absolutely crazy and totally ridiculous. How could I think it's possible that Hitler was able to make it out of the aftermath of World War II and escape to Argentina and live out a really peaceful, nice existence there for the latter years of his life? Well, have any of you ever heard of Mussolini's capture by the new Italian government in the middle of World War II? Well, when Adolf Hitler had found out about Mussolini's capture, here's exactly what happened. On 25th July 1943, Italian leader Benito Mussolini is overthrown and imprisoned. Over the next few weeks, he will be held in several top-secret locations on the orders of the new Italian government. A hand-picked SS squadron along with members of the Luftwaffe are given the task of finding and rescuing him before he can be handed over to the U.S. Hitler had personally interviewed 3 men to lead this squadron. The man he chose was Captain Otto. With time running out, Mussolini's whereabouts are finally discovered. In the mountains of Italy, the plan is to land the commando unit there and assault it. German military experts warn Hitler of the high probability of failure and to expect an 80% casualty rate. The code name for this mission is Operation Oak.
The 12th of September 1943, central Italy, high above Mount Gran Sasso.
And the Nazis did all this for Mussolini. And the people who write our history would have you believe that they would not do the same for their Fuhrer, go above and beyond to make sure that he lived. I think it's crazy or ignorant to believe to think that they would not try to save Adolf Hitler. The most daring and spectacular raid of all of World War II was completed in just 12 minutes without a single shot being fired. The captain greeted Mussolini with the now immortal words, "The Fuhrer has sent me to set you free," to which Mussolini replied, "I knew my friend would not forsake me." On his return, Hitler promoted the captain to major and awarded him Germany's highest award, the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves. Mussolini awarded him the Order of 100 Musketeers. The Allies would come to know him as the most dangerous man in Europe. This is Otto right here. At the Nuremberg trials, the captain was accused of war crimes but acquitted. Whilst awaiting further trial, he escaped to Spain. He then moved to Argentina, where Hitler supposedly went, but returned and established a successful construction company which made him a multimillionaire. Otto finally succumbed to cancer in 1975. His ashes were later flown to Vienna, Austria, to be interred with his family plot. Did Otto return to Argentina to help the Fuhrer? We may never know exactly what happened there, but it definitely is interesting. Did Hitler really die at the end of World War II, or did he escape Berlin to the Andes Mountains and live out the rest of his life there or somewhere else? And again, this is something we don't really know for sure, but the FBI seems to think so. And as always, guys, don't believe anything you cannot prove without your own research. If you like this video and you want more videos like this, hit the like button and subscribe to Fritz KO Vids and Factual Conspiracy. Thank you for watching.